Hey everybody, today I'm going to tackle a really controversial topic and I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why you should not adopt a dog from a shelter. Alright, so at the risk of being extremely controversial and lighting up the comment boards down below about how I'm inhumane and I don't care about the planet and how, on and on and on, how I don't care about dogs, and I want to tell you some reasons why you should avoid adopting dogs from shelters. So number one, when you purchase a brand new puppy from a breeder, you are 100% certain what breed you're getting. If you go to a local shelter, and no matter what the dog looks like, it can look like the most beautiful, glorious Labrador or Pointer or Golden Retriever. There's no way you can be 100% certain that Golden Retriever hasn't been crossed with something else that's going to bring in traits that you're not comfortable with or that you don't want to introduce to your home. So again, this is another controversial topic because some people are going to say that dogs aren't mean based on the breed, and I think that's absolute garbage. Labradors, for example, have soft mouths because they've been bred that way. Other dogs, pit bulls, for example, I know that they're kind of the easy breed to pick on, but one of the reasons is they've been bred as fighters. And so people breeding pit bulls for generations have looked for dogs who were aggressive, had a mean bite, and they were bred for that. Now, I understand that as we get further and further away from that, as you find pit bull breeders who are looking for other traits, that generations down the line, you can breed that aggression and meanness out of them. But for right now, that's what an average stereotypical pit bull has been bred for. And so now, let's say you find a dog there at the shelter, and it looks like a beautiful Golden Retriever, but there's something in there that you're not sure. How do you know that is not a pit bull or another aggressive dog? Pit bulls are not the only dogs that are aggressive. It could be German Shepherds and Dobermans, Akitas. There are lots of aggressive dogs out there that have been bred for that, and that people actually search for that because they're watchdogs or guard type dogs. So the first reason that I don't think you should adopt is because you can't be certain what the breed is. We've got a neighbor that they came over to our house and brought one of their dogs that they'd adopted. Beautiful looking boxer, but as I reached down to pet her, the dog went into kind of this self-protective, hair raised on the back, kind of crouched, started to snarl. And the explanation was, well, we think she was mistreated by men because she gets that way every time she's around men. Well, those are the kinds of things that you don't know until you get the dog home. All right, number 2, we already talked about behavior that comes because of breeding and with pit bulls and things like that. The second reason why I think you should avoid adopting from rescue centers is because there's no way for you to know how the dog was treated before it got to the shelter. That matters a ton. So we've already talked about the nature. I believe that there's a major component to nurture as well. Like people, dogs' behavior can be affected by the way they're treated, especially if that treatment was poor. If they were neglected or starved, etc., that can lead to food guarding, resource guarding. It can lead to aggression, and some of those things won't come out at first. It may take a while for there to be some kind of a situation that sparks your dog's aggression, and now all of a sudden he reaches out and snaps and bites your 3-year-old. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, they're going to be really frustrated with me saying this, and they're going to say that you can rehabilitate these dogs, and that's the purpose. And I get all of that, but as a dad with small children in my home, one of the reasons why I always insist on, I always buy from breeders, there are a couple of reasons, but one of them is this. I need to make sure, I need to ensure that my dog gets socialized correctly to avoid some of these bad behavior, aggression and snapping, and also not just those, but also anxiety. A dog that's been mistreated or hasn't been socialized well, you can find that they have serious separation anxiety. And when you leave the house, no matter what you do, when you come home, it's destroyed. Again, so that it's not just it's not just the aggression and the biting, but there's also anxiety that can come with it. And so that's the second reason why I think you ought to avoid adopting a dog from a rescue center. All right, reason number 3 that I think you should avoid adopting a dog from a rescue center has to do with similar to breeding and the fact that you know exactly what breed you're getting. But I can also, if I'm dealing with a reputable breeder or a reputable breeder, I can ask them for health checks on mom and dad. And so not only am I sure that I'm getting a purebred Labrador with all the traits that come with a purebred Labrador and that have made the Labrador the #1 dog in America and in Great Britain for the last like almost 20 years. Not only am I doing that, but I also get to check that mom's eyes and mom's hips and mom's elbows are all free from some of the diseases and problems that are common with Labradors. And I can check and do the same with dad. Now, genetically speaking, if mom and dad are both free of those kinds of diseases, there's a really good chance that my puppy's going to be free from them as he or she grows and gets bigger. So that's a major thing for me, is the ability to do a health check on both mom and dad and ensure that the puppy I'm getting has got the best chance of a healthy, long life with me and my family for the next 10 to 14 years. There's no way to do that with a rescue dog. All right, everybody, there's my 3 reasons for why you should avoid getting a dog from a rescue center. Now, that's not all of the picture, and I do want to be fair. If you're interested in the pros and the cons to adopting a dog from a rescue center, or the pros and cons to buying a puppy from a breeder, make sure you check out our article that I'll link down in the description below. Also, make sure that you followed us on Instagram or Twitter, as I'm starting to ramp up how much content I send out through those. You can find us in the links down below. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified every time that we crank out a new video. Summer's getting closer. We're going to be doing more with shed hunting, also bird hunting, and then just some basic obedience training. I just got a new puppy, little Labrador Odin, and so make sure you follow us for all of my videos that I've got on teaching him basic obedience, as well as some of the other fun stuff that we do with our dogs. So till next time, have a great time with your dog, and I'll see you in the next video.